Well, today is July 15th, 2020, and finally today we will get to look at the abomination, what that is. So you recall back over in Daniel chapter 9 that Daniel mentions the abomination that makes desolate. Then he mentions in chapter 12 about the abomination of desolation that it is something set up. Then we go over to Matthew 24. Jesus also mentions the abomination of desolation. And he says when you see it standing in the holy place or in the temple. So Daniel said it's something set up. Jesus said something standing in the temple. So what is all of this anyway? Abomination means something that's detestable, vile, shameful, despicable, something really, really bad. So what is all of that? So let's go now to the Bible and see. Now, we went to 2 Thessalonians yesterday. That's where we continue today. And we read chapter 2. We read verse 3 yesterday, and it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition," or the son of destruction. So we looked at that yesterday, and he's called here the man of sin. Now for the next verse, verse 4, it says, and this is the abomination. Here it is. "Who opposeth," who is the man of sin, "who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." Now there is the abomination. This man that we looked back over in Daniel chapter 9, here he is. And the abomination is for this man to make himself God. And if you remember, that's exactly what Satan did when he sinned and was cast out of heaven, was to make himself to be like God. So this man is going to go into the temple, and there in the temple he is going to stop the offerings and the sacrifices that he's allowed to start back. And he is there going to declare himself to be God, and that people must worship him. What that must be to God, that is an abomination to God. Not an abomination to me, it's an abomination to God that a mere man would dare make himself to be God and be worshipped. So now let's get the picture here. This man in Daniel chapter 9 is going to make a covenant with a lot of people for 7 years. In the middle of the 7 years, 3.5 years later, he's going to go into the temple, he's going to stop the offerings, and he's going to set himself up and make himself to be God and to be worshipped. And that is an abomination to God. Now, the abomination that makes desolate, what does that mean? That means, well, remember Jesus said back over Matthew chapter 24, when you see the abomination of desolation, then get out of town, run, take off. So it makes Jerusalem empty or desolate. The abomination, it makes desolate, because at that time, this man is going to declare war on the Jews, to annihilate them, and he's going to make Jerusalem an empty place. So it is the abomination, making himself God, that's going to make it desolate, empty. So that is the man, the abomination that makes desolate or empty, going to empty out Jerusalem and Israel. The Jews will have to take off and run for their lives. Okay, that's, in my opinion, there's two halves of this abomination. This man is one. He was in the holy place, as Jesus said. But there's another part of it, and we'll look at the second part of the abomination in the morning. I hope you have a fantastic day today.